What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
James Shu, how are you, sir?
.com, and we're here for two premieres tonight.
Yes, we're here for WICK and John Wick.
Yes.
What are you? Okay, go on.
Okay, I'm excited for John Wick. People are saying that this is his best, Keanu Reeves, his best performance since The Matrix. Gets me excited. I didn't mind Ronin.
About 15 years ago. That says
which
a lot.
Is bad. I didn't mind Ronin 47 though. I thought it was actually pretty cool. I thought it was cool. Ouija, I think it's just, it doesn't look anything more than just another horror film, paranormal activity type of deal, which is fine, and it brings in people, and I can't blame Hollywood because it's all about the money.
As far as Ouija, I think it's interesting that it's taken someone this long to make a film about a Ouija board. Ouija boards have always kind of been an element in the horror genre, and actually kind of comes up in my rules, which we'll talk about later. I want to bring that back up. But Ouija boards I think are fascinating. I don't know about you, I've always wanted to play with the Ouija board. Even though I'm not so much of a superstitious type, I would love to play with one, but no one ever wants to play with me. So it kind of excites me to see a whole movie.
Would you dare do it?
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Because it's funny you mentioned that, because I always said if I were with friends and they were like, oh, let's do a Ouija board, I actually would have been the guy that said, okay. But I've never had someone want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone always chickens out. So we actually have to get together and do it. But the thing is, I don't want one I can buy at Toys R Us. I want one of like...
No, you get... Okay, if it's at Toys R Us, that one's not haunted.
Yeah, that's right. We have to find one. We need to go somewhere. But, but as far as John Wick, everyone is talking about John Wick.
Yes.
Everyone is talking about how Keanu Reeves is great.
Yes.
I mean, this movie has gotten a lot of press, and I saw it. I'm going to be seeing it late, so I'm really excited to see what it's going to be about. I know it's a short movie. Both films are only about an hour and a half. So, I mean, short's usually good. It means it's quick to the point, but let's see if that's what it's going to be.
Boom, 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 boom. We'll be back in 90 minutes.
What are you expecting out of John Wick?
Just kidding. I think it's going to be fun. It looks like... Okay, I never had love for a passion for a dog, and then I just bought my mom a Yorkie. So, and then in the trailer, they kill his dog. Is why he's so pissed off. And I was just like, yeah, you can't do that to a dog. I think it looks great.
It's not.
I think it looks fun. And then they said they have gung fu, so it's kung fu with guns and shooting. And then there's a scene in the trailer where he gets shot. Some guy gets shot in the head. I'm like, that is awesome. Bring it.
All right, let's do it. An hour and a half. Let's go.
Okay, so we just got out of John Wick. We just got out of Ouija.
Yes.
Ouija.
I will break down Ouija really, really quick. I have always loved the horror movie genre. I always have found myself liking them more than most people. Though some of the popular choices I'm not big fans of, like Paranormal Activity, I am a huge fan of James Wan's work. Insidious, I liked Insidious 2. I liked Annabelle, what it seems like to be more than most people. I just really appreciate his work. His film Saw is going to be returning to theaters this upcoming week for the 10th year. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. I'm a huge fan. But Ouija, Ouija is one of the worst movies I've seen all year. It is really bad. It is very tedious. It is a film that really doesn't know what it wants to be, in the sense that it's about a Ouija board, but it actually has nothing to do with the Ouija board, and it comes out with one of the most typical stories you could ever find. I found the characters to be boring, uninteresting, terribly acted. Our main character is discovering dead bodies and ancient things, and some of her friends are getting knocked off, as we've seen in the trailer, and like there's literally no emotion. Like if I uncovered a body that maybe had been, decaying for 85 years, that'd be more than just... that's just me, without giving too much away. I know how I'd react, and the whole movie just felt like very tedious. The first, the movie's about, like I said, about an hour and a half. The first 50 minutes feel like nothing's really going on, except for a few bumps, and they're not even really scary. The few stingers that they have, and stingers, I mean, that loud hit of music, and that's when scares would happen. It doesn't feel like it's a scare. Like, the stinger happens, and you're like, oh, well, that's weird. However, in the last 20 minutes, even then, there's not really anything redeeming about this movie. I will say one of the villains of the film, because there are multiple to choose from, I won't spoil which, but there is a character that looks really, really well done as far as physically, how their look, their presence is. But otherwise, I think it's a really big waste of time. I was really disappointed in this film.
ChasingCinema.com/Ouija. And if you can't spell Ouija, ChasingCinema.com will still get you there. Yeah. Just click on the newest news if you can't spell Ouija.
O-U-I-G-A.
See? Now, has Keanu Reeves returned?
You go first. That's tradition.
Well, guys, you will like John Wick. You will enjoy John Wick. This movie is awesome. I loved this movie. It was an awesome movie. You're gonna like it. You're gonna feel passion for his dog. You're gonna feel passion because it's not even about his dog. It's really more like a present. You are going to feel passion about this movie. This movie was directed by In Matrix, his stunt double.
Yeah, his stunt double.
His stunt double.
Chad, he has a complicated to pronounce last name.
Took this movie, bam, there's gonna be sequels to this movie. This is not the end of Keanu Reeves
Yes.
in any way as John Wick. This movie is awesome. Check it out. What do you think?
John Wick is Equalizer done right. Earlier this month, or maybe 2 months ago, we had the Equalizer.
September.
September, yeah. Which was a film that was about vengeance, you know, same kind of story.
Loved it.
But to me, it was way too long.
Loved it.
And it had what we say is a lot of fat. You know, it had a lot of the fat. John Wick was a better version of the Equalizer. It was Equalizer done right. It trimmed all the fat. It wasn't 2.5 hours. It cut out a complete hour of what the Equalizer did. And it made it straight to the point. As you said, an absolute blast. The most, you know, stylish, vengeful film I've seen in a long time. The most fun part about it is that there's so many new ideas about it. How often do we have a movie where it starts off with the villain being afraid of the hero? The villain's usually like, oh, we'll kill him. No, this man knows of his essence.
I really enjoy that part.
There's also, we have this underground world we're so unaware of about these assassins. We have a waste management company that comes and takes dinner reservations, which really means getting rid of bodies, which is so fun. We have a hotel filled with assassins that aren't allowed to kill on grounds. Things like that just make this movie so fun. It's a certain style that is unlike most things we've been seeing lately. And
Gung Fu.
Keanu Reeves. I don't think Keanu Reeves is as bad as actor as most people put him out to be. I mean, I don't think he's the best by any means, but I don't think he's that bad. This film, he does it right. So for someone who's kind of on that brink of a really huge mental break, but holding in all the emotions and just trying to compose himself and keep himself composed while he can, I think he does a really, really great job. He created a character that I think is memorable enough to come back, as you said, in sequels and maybe a third. I think it was a really fun movie. Like I said, a better version of Equalizer and one that I really, really enjoyed, and people need to go see this movie.
If you like Equalizer, you will love this fun film.
Yes.
And if you didn't like Equalizer, you'll like this movie because this one's like, hey, this is what I wanted.
I mean, it's genuinely surprising to like a film that seems so formulaic like this. But even like we said, you know, it's not his whole family's murdered type deal. It's something different. It's small changes in the script that I enjoyed, but they're small enough to make a difference. You know, like I said, with the villain being afraid of him, knowing that, you know, as he calls him in the beginning, he says he's not the boogeyman. He's the guy you hire to kill the boogeyman. Having this kind of legend kind of erupt, and as he's slamming the sledgehammer down, it really gives you those goosebumps. It's just a really, really fun movie. I really, really enjoyed it.
ChasingCinema.com/John
Wick. Now, earlier we were talking about WICK. I was mentioning the rules. And when I say by the rules is, if you go on UNLVRebelYell.com, I'm also the senior staff writer for the UNLV Rebel Yell.
By the way.
I wrote this week, upcoming on Monday, it'll be published, I wrote a list of some of my rules in surviving a horror film. Now, we all saw Jamie Kennedy famously do this in the film Scream, Wes Craven's film. However, my argument is that Jamie Kennedy died in Scream 2, so obviously I'm still here and alive, so you might as well take my advice because that guy did get killed off.
By the way, little FYI for your information.
I have a whole list, I think out of the like 250, 300 rules that I have, I put in about 20 to 30 in there. I think they're great fun, I think people will enjoy them. It's a great time to have them because what other thing to do is to know how to survive a horror film during Halloween.
By the way.
So next week, we have the return of Saw, 10-year anniversary of James Wan's first film that kind of created him, put him on the map. And then we have Nightcrawler, a film that I'm really excited for. I did see the trailer for this one, so I can't say I haven't. What are you expecting out of Nightcrawler?
Number one, Renee Russo. Woo! Banging. I love Renee Russo, and she could be 90. I'm still gonna think she's hot, I think. Anyway, Jake Gyllenhaal. I like it because I know, and you know, that some news people, that's exactly what they do. Gone Girl showed us that the news shows us what they want to see and what light they want us to see it in, whether we want to feel good or bad. And I love Nightcrawler because Nightcrawler is the other side where if you gotta set up something to get your cheddar, then you're gonna set up something to get your cheddar. Money, De Niro, La Feria, Chen, money. And I like it. It looks, I think it looks great. It's a thriller. I love thrillers.
I think after his performance in Prisoners, Jake Gyllenhaal is on fire right now, and I think he really has potential to really like do great in this film. I mean, he even in Prisoners, he is, you know, a member of the law. He has some really kind of creepy eeriness about him, and you know, he has done a few other roles where he kind of has this whole what's the word I'm looking for? Whole aura around him of just being someone you can't really trust. This film looks like he's really going to play a character that
you can't trust.
Yeah, absolutely. So join us next week. Celebrate Halloween with us because it'll be midnight, October 31st. Well, yeah,
Woo!
October 31st, Friday. We'll be here to see Saw, the 10th anniversary, and Nightcrawler.
And I want to see both, but I will be in Nightcrawler. I'm so excited. All right, 7 days. We'll be back with ChasingCinema.com,
Thank you,
film
sir.
lovers website.